Hi dear friends and subscribers, once again welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram, having this live update coming in on the ICC T20 World Cup. Right now we have a match which is going on, that is between South Africa and Zimbabwe. It's proving to be absolutely one-sided right now. It's been played this is the Group C match, the fourth match of this T20 World Cup, and South Africa currently they are in the fourth over. They are 33 for no loss, with the openers Richard Levy on 11, Hashim Amla on 12. Zimbabwe were the ones who earlier won they lost the toss. In fact, South Africa won the toss, and as has been a practice in this particular T20 World Cup so far, they inserted the Zimbabweans in, and Zimbabwe were absolutely listless against the South African bowlers, as Zimbabwe were they were restricted to 93 for 8 of their 20 overs. I will come back to that later, but as is the practice with me, as I am not able to actually give you the full match report, what I am going to do as far as yesterday's match, Afghanistan versus India, I couldn't talk about that. Well, Afghanistan versus India, let me tell you, first and foremost, I will have to credit Afghanistan. As you know, India won the match by 23 runs, but only just. India definitely got a scare. Afghanistan, not only first they showed with the bowling, they restricted India to 159 for 5, as I said. If the catches would have been taken, the tail would have been different, but unfortunately it was not so for Afghanistan, and the fielders definitely dropped catches, and India, but still I thought Afghanistan did very well. Their bowlers did very well to restrict India to 159. And as far as the bat is concerned, well, let me tell you, Afghanistan, they play their cricket in a very, very aggressive manner, and that's what they showed here. Mohammad Shahzad, as promised, came up with that helicopter shot that MS Dhoni plays for India, and he contributed 18. Navroz Mangal, the captain, hit one superb 6 of the bowling of Balaji, in fact sweeping him over mid-wicket for a 6. He made 22. Karim Sadiq also played well, 26. And then the failure for Afghanistan was Asghar Stanikzai. He was the most consistent batsman, but he was a failure, unfortunately. Mohammad Nabi was a real thorn for India. Had Mohammad Nabi stayed there, probably one does not know what would have been the outcome of the match, because Mohammad Nabi was really attacking the Indian bowlers. He was the highest scorer with 31 of 17 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes, and he was a victim of Ravichandran Ashwin. Other than that, well, the lower order couldn't really capitalize on that particular innings that Afghanistan were playing, and Afghanistan were 136 all out. But well, just look at this. For India, it should be a real conundrum now, because India's prime strike bowler, Zahir Khan, 3 overs cost him 32. In fact, such a thing happened that Mahendra Singh Dhoni had to go to Balaji because Zahir Khan and Irfan Pathan were leaking runs like anything, and Zahir Khan in particular, India's prime strike bowler, 3 overs for 32 runs. Irfan Pathan 4 overs for 29 runs on 1 wicket. Balaji was the one who really put a semblance of respectability, and he had 3.3 overs, no more than 3 for 19. Yuvraj Singh was brought, the spinners were brought to actually, really stop this aggressive Afghanistan, with Yuvraj Singh 3 for 24, and Ashwin as usual 2 for 20. But what is going to be a big question mark for India, because India have a game against England, what is going to be very important is what is going to, Zahir Khan, the prime strike bowler, going for 32 runs is not something that one would take. Now, one can very safely say, at Virat Kohli very safely said that Afghanistan, well, they have nothing to fear. They can just go for the stroke. That's true. But if a prime strike bowler of a country is treated in this manner, then that is not something which is good. In fact, if you see, 7 overs bowled by Zahir Khan and Irfan Pathan have costed 61 runs, and that too against Afghanistan. So now they would be bowling against England and other teams too. So definitely India need to pull up their socks, and the bowling needs to really improve. There is no doubt about it. The pace bowling, Balaji has done well, but the pace bowling has to come to the fore. Otherwise, that would be something, some alarm bells would be ringing for India, I can tell you that. Well, let's shift the focus now to the current game. That was a small analysis that I did of that particular match. And right now, what I see, South Africa is just racing along. They are in the 5th over, 40 runs already put. Now let's talk about the Zimbabwe innings. As I said, South Africa won the toss. There's only one match being played today in the T20 World Cup, South Africa and Zimbabwe. and South Africa won the toss and inserted the Zimbabweans in. Zimbabwe, well, they didn't have a good start. Their openers, Vusi Sibanda was the first to go in the second over itself, as Morne Morkel got one to really smoke through Sibanda's defenses, clean bowling him for duck. Hamilton Masakadza, Brendan Taylor, the captain, disappointed, trying to slash at a wide one from Morne Morkel. A.B. de Villiers took the catch. Hamilton Masakadza tried to get some urgency into the proceedings by trying to loft Albi Morkel, but succeeded in giving a tame catch to Richard Levy of the bowling of Morkel for 6 of 17 balls with 1-4. That made the score 16 for 3. And then there was a partnership. Craig Irvine, who was the highest scorer with 37, partnered with Matsi Kenyeri, and both of them pushed the score on to 51. At that stage, Jack Scalise was introduced into the attack, and Jack Scalise was on a hat-trick. In fact, he picked up the wicket first of Stuart Matsi-Kenyeri, who was caught by Peterson of the bowling of Callis for 11. And the very next to Elton Chigumra, as I said, he has been a big disappointment, and he continued to do so, as today he was gone. The very first ball that he received, he was adjudged LBW bowled Callis, and Callis was on a hat-trick. Graham Creamer had to actually avert the hat-trick of Jack Scalise, and Creamer stayed there. But later on, the score became 60 for 6, as Callis once again, even though he didn't take the hat-trick, he took Creamer's wicket, who was caught behind for 6. And after that, Craig Irvine contributed 37 runs. He was the last man out, in fact, with 37. He tried his best, at least he tried his best to take Zimbabwe to 100 mark, but he couldn't. Zimbabwe finished at 93 for 8. Craig Irvine caught de Villiers, bowled Callis 37 of 40 balls, 4 fours. If you see the total number of fours hit by Zimbabwe, there were only 6 fours hit, and out of that 4 boundaries were hit by Craig Irvine, who was the highest scorer with 37. Other than that, 1 boundary from Masakadza and 1 boundary from Raymond Price. Utseya out for 5 of the bowling of Steen. Raymond Price was not out on 7. Kyle Jarvis was not out on 9 of 11 balls. 93 for 8. Zimbabwe absolutely no match for the South African bowling. Dale Steen's pace was too much to handle for Zimbabwe batsmen. 4 overs no maiden, 1 for 9. Morne Morkel's bounce was too difficult to handle for Zimbabwe. 4 overs no maiden, 2 for 16. Albi Morkel, 4 overs went it for 26 runs and a wicket. Both are 3 bowls, 3 overs for 16. Robin Peterson, 1 over for 8 runs. But Jack Scalise came in and picked up 4 wickets to really derail the Zimbabwe innings. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 15. Very good bowling figures there. Now, as far as South Africa are concerned, I will take you there. But before that, let me talk about the bowling figures. Jarvis, 2 overs has cost him 17. Brian Vettori, 1 over for 9 runs. And Raymond Price, 2 overs has gone for. As you know, Raymond Price didn't play in that other match I was telling you, but today he was played, so it was a good decision. That his 2 overs have cost him 10 runs. If you have 93 runs, it's very difficult to bowl, and Raymond Price is probably under pressure right now. Well, I see that South Africa have just reached the 50 mark in the 6th over itself, as Richard Levy is not out on 21 of 17 balls with 3 fours. Hashim Amla is not out on 18 of 16 balls with 3 fours. And as I said, they are just going like a train. 50 for no loss right now, only 43 runs more to get. It's a foregone conclusion that South Africa is going to win the match. If South Africa is going to win the match, then I think it's curtains for Zimbabwe as far as the T20 World Cup is concerned. They will have to pack their bags and probably leave from Sri Lanka, probably, because they already lost their first match to Sri Lanka in a very dismal manner, and that time the spinners were the ones who were the dominant ones. But today it was the South African pace that Zimbabwe has found it too hot to handle, and they have succumbed. In fact, right now I see the score reads 52 for no loss. Richard Levy is moved on to 23. Hashim Amla is not on 18, and Brian Vettori, second over, already given 17 runs of his 2 overs. Raymond Price is the other bowler. So Vettori is going to prepare himself to bowl the final delivery of the 6th over, and South Africa going at a very good clip right now. They're going at a run rate of 8.91 right now, as the last delivery is going to be bowled by Brian Vettori. Left arm seamer is coming in and is going to bowl. Probably it is going to be Richard Levy who will be on strike because he took a couple of runs. As the last ball of the 6th over has been sent to the boundary by Richard Levy. So the score moves on to 56 for no loss. Brian Vettori, 2 overs has cost him 21 runs. The South African batsmen are absolutely they are just walking over Zimbabwe, I would say here. 6 overs have gone by, 56 for no loss. South Africa currently requiring another only 38 runs to actually win this match. With 14 overs remaining, the required run rate is just 2.77, so 2.71. So definitely Zimbabwe are looking down the barrel here. And South Africa, as I said, Hashim Amla and Richard Levy are probably wanting to give their team a 10-wicket victory. But as I said, for Zimbabwe, first it was these Sri Lankan spinners, but this time the South African pace bowlers who have really worried them. And Zimbabwe, as I said, if they're going to lose this match, probably it is curtains for them. The previous shot which was played by Levy was a very good shot. It was punched past cover for a boundary by Richard Levy. So Richard Levy probably also his confidence might be coming up, because as you know, he was a failure in the previous series where South Africa were against, I think, I'm not sure about that, South Africa were against England. He didn't do well, but right now Richard Levy is not on a 27, so his confidence is going to definitely receive a boost. 27 of 20 balls, 4 fours. Hashim Amla, what a master he is, what a poetry in motion he is when he plays the strokes. 19 not out of 17 balls with 3 fours. As Prosper Utsaya comes in and bowls to Amla, the seventh over just commencing here, and single has been taken. So as I said, it's a foregone conclusion. Prosper Utsaya is right now bowling to Hashim Amla, and the second ball, Utsaya comes in and bowls to Levy. Levy just defends, but he will get a single. So 58 for no loss, dear fans, friends and subscribers. On this note, your host Ram, with his live cricket update from this T20 World Cup, is leaving you right now, but I'll be back tomorrow. The two matches, there are 2 matches coming up tomorrow. One is a match between Bangladesh and New Zealand, and according to me it's a 50-50. Both the teams would have their chances, and Bangladesh, as you know, have been defeated by Ireland in the warm-up match, but it's not really not something very good to read, but I think we are going to have a close game between New Zealand and Bangladesh. I think I would be giving chances like 50-50 chances to both the teams. And the other match which is coming up tomorrow is I think it's going to be, I'm just trying to check my schedule here. Yes, it is going to be Bangladesh versus New Zealand at Palakkele, and the next match is between Afghanistan versus England. That should be a good match, and England are definitely not going to take Afghanistan lightly, for the simple reason that they really gave India a fright in the first match. Afghanistan, you are doing absolutely great, and really showing the world what aggression means to them and how they play this game with a lots of spirit and enthusiasm. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, final score line from here, from the match between South Africa and Zimbabwe. South Africa requiring 94 to win the match. South Africa are 60 for no loss currently. The 7th over has gone by. Richard Levy is not out on 29 of 22 balls with 4 fours. Hashim Amla 20 of 20 balls, 3 fours. And that's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Happening Show. With this live update, I end my cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.